Hey everybody, welcome back. I'm glad that you're joining us again today. Today I have a special guest and I will let him introduce himself. We're going to be talking all about language program administration and moving from being a teacher to a language administrator. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Yes, thank you, Sharon. My name is Jim Papple, and I'm currently the Interim Associate Director at ULE, at York University. Um, I've been in the field for a little over 20 years now. It happened quite accidentally, really. I had actually started doing linguistics, thinking that I would, pursue maybe something in journalism or
Oh,
writing. Um, and I started out as a conversation partner.
mm,
As part of my linguistics degree, and I found it was really interesting to meet with all of the international students,
yeah,
um, from all over the world. And I thought, well, I've never been to any of these places. This is fascinating, learning about the culture and the food and all of those other things. And I just gradually sort of drifted towards, the teaching side of things, and sort of going from there. And so, I've tried to be open to all the experiences that have come my way. I've been a coordinator for 17 years, where I was sort of teaching partly, and then also, managing, the other half of that. And so it's been a really interesting evolution as I've
yeah.
sort of grown and matured.
Yeah, sounds like it. I mean, it's nice that you have. I was really interested in when I was reading your profile on LinkedIn. I was like, oh, he's done like a lot of the stuff before becoming a director of a program, and that's not always true. Sometimes people kind of fall into those positions and they don't truly understand the workings of the jobs of the people that they're managing.
For me, it's been, I've always said yes if I'm able to do something, and I'm always looking to try new things. I think for myself, when I was lucky enough to get a permanent position, right out of school.
Oh,
In
nice.
fact, as I was graduating, the call went up about 3 weeks before the end of the semester that they were looking for. In my case, it was a sort of summer language bursary monitors. And so, I applied for that and took it. But I really got a job almost instantly out of school,
Mm,
and sort of never looked back. And it was a great testing environment to be in, where I was younger than some of the students themselves at the time. So it was a great opportunity to sort of learn and grow from, more established teachers that were already there.
did you have that? I remember being a young like graduate, 24, and having students who were 5, 6, 10 years older than me. Did you find that? I found that usually it was fine, but sometimes there was a little bit of hesitancy as does she know what she's doing? She looks kind of young. Did you have that same experience?
I definitely, I remember my very first class actually was uh, happened to all be, what we're hoping to be Japanese stewardesses, and airline hostesses, and so they were all a little bit older than myself. And I think they weren't really sure what to expect, and so it took them a while to figure out my age, because I think they thought I was a little older than what I actually was. But it definitely is a thing. I've had, when I was in my early 20s, I had students who were in their late 60s that were going through for a PhD, and it is hard to establish those sorts of you have kind of an imposter syndrome almost,
Hmm.
where you're not sure, like, how do I teach someone who already has so much education and is a lifelong learner themselves. But I think ultimately, those students were usually the coolest, if I can say that, because they were lifelong learners. They were like, I can tap into you and I can learn from you. Maybe something to do with youth culture, or maybe you've got some teaching technique fresh out of school that hasn't been tested yet. And I found they were the best, and most willing to approach those sorts of things. So it was kind of an interesting,
Yeah.
dynamic.
I always enjoyed like when you were talking about lifelong learners, those students made just made my heart sing, you know,
Yes.
because you didn't have to sell whatever you were presenting, you know, they were just, you know, they had that intrinsic motivation that we really want in learners, that is not always guaranteed. So yeah, I feel you on that.